You may know actress Dawn Olivieri from shows like Yellowstone. I'm such a fan. What you may not know is that Dawn is also an animal activist who started her own horse sanctuary. Hi, Dawn. Thank you so much for joining our show today. I'm Sandy, and this is Vita.
Hi, Dawn.
Hi, how are you?
Doing well.
First, we want to start off by saying how beautiful you are.
And nice.
And
this
nice.
is starting off wonderful.
Pretty and nice.
Everybody do their podcast. It's an instant ego boost for sure. Well, I appreciate that.
We were just sitting here staring at you. We're like, wow, she's so pretty.
It's all about the lighting. It's all about the lighting. No, it's I'm doing what I love. I think that it's the fountain of youth.
It shows, for sure. And we loved your snack because Vita's really into non-processed food.
Not an ultra-processed food. I eat processed food. I just don't eat ultra-processed
Really into
food.
ultra-processed
Like, wow,
foods.
look at her
Perfect.
snack. That's why she looks so good. She's like, I like her already.
Yeah, it's definitely, food has a lot to do with it, for sure.
Yes, for sure. So we wanted to know a little bit about your background. I know that you were on Yellowstone. We love that show. It was amazing. And you have your horse sanctuary where you're saving horses from being abused, from going to slaughter.
Yes, all correct things. You want to hear about those things? You want to hear about all those things?
Yes, everything. I want to hear about all of it.
Okay,
I
all
love the
those
show
things.
Yellowstone. It was like one of my favorite shows.
Yeah, you and a couple other people. I'll tell you what, you and a couple
Yeah.
other people. So, wow, what a train it's been to have been able to be part of that series and that family. Because as a lot of people know, when you watch a lot of Taylor Sheridan shows, you start seeing the same people popping up. And I have been so lucky enough to be one of those people that just keep popping up on all the shows, to the point where I'll end one show, and then now I've just gotten to the point where I text him and I'm like, this last time when I got off Yellowstone, I literally text Taylor and I was like, so when you gonna? I'm ready when you want to send me my my start date for Landman, right? Just as a joke, because why not? You just do that stuff.
That's so funny.
Oh my gosh, I would love to see you on
He
Land
responded
Man.
like 2 weeks later. Let me tell you, it's not like I have Taylor on my, like on immediate response system. But in 2 weeks, which makes a lot of sense for a man that's writing 500 shows at one time. In 2 weeks, he responded and he laughed and he said, "Yeah, well, I think for now I'm gonna park you on Lioness." So on Lioness, we start filming again in October, which is a really heavy show if you haven't seen that, just with a stellar cast: Nicole Kidman, Morgan Freeman, Zoe Saldana.
Oh,
I mean,
wow.
my
That's
goodness.
amazing.
Yeah, it's insane. So that show we're gonna pick back up in October, which
And where will that be filmed?
we're gonna go down in Texas. We're gonna film that in Fort Worth, out and around Fort Worth is where that happens. So
That's amazing. So you stay there for the duration, however many months it takes? Or
Well-
how does that work? Is it a series?
It's different. Different shows are different. It is a series, it's a TV series, and it just depends on the
Really good.
workload a lot of times. Like I've just been up here in Utah filming Homestead, which is a series. It's on Angel Network. It's a really pretty show. It has a faith-based kind of foundation, which is what Angel Network is all about, and it has a really good message. And so with that show, because I was working almost every day because I'm one of the leads, then I have to be there for that month or however long that period of time is. But with a show like Lioness, it's such a big ensemble cast that I'll probably work twice a week, maybe once a week. And I live up in Arkansas. If you're in Texas, up in Arkansas. So I'm just going to be commuting back and forth. Maybe I'll go down there and stay a few days. It all just depends on the work days. That's it.
Oh, so it's not that far from where you are. That's
No, it's only like
And
4
they
hours,
film in
so I can
Baltimore,
drive.
too.
And
It's Lioness,
man,
yeah.
if you had this Garden of Eden and you just took you 4 hours to drive there, you're probably going to go there more often than not, which is how I feel about the Moon. That's the name of the sanctuary.
Right.
It's Moon Mountain Sanctuary. So that's why I call it the Moon.
And the sanctuary's in Utah or Arkansas?
The sanctuary is in Arkansas. Yeah, so I'm a bit of a nomad.
Oh,
If you
okay,
hadn't-
so where you live.
Yeah. So the
I
sanctuary is in Arkansas.
I love it.
And a lot of people go, why Arkansas? Well, Arkansas is such an interesting state. It's one of the most affordable states in the country, in the 50 states. maybe ranking way up at the top, but maybe it held the first position for a long time. If it's not still in that position. So one of, if not the most affordable state in the 50 states. And the thing is too, is that if you look on a map of Arkansas, the whole map is almost all green. So for me, I always chose places to live based on how much green and how close I could get to the green on the map. And Arkansas is, man, it's the perfect all green state. And so that was just right up my alley. And you can still buy land in Arkansas for a way more affordably than you can buy in any other state practically. And I wanted land, and I wanted a lot of it. So I went to Arkansas, and also on the boundary of a national forest. It's pretty, I call it a land hack.
That sounds amazing. So is your house where the sanctuary is?
Yeah, well, we'll call it living structures right now. I don't even really have a house.
Okay.
I feel like I'm such a nomad. I bought this piece of land thinking about land and space and animals before I thought about myself, which is pretty in keeping with most
Right.
everything I do.
Which is
So,
great.
yeah, exactly. So I got such a great deal on that land because there was not, I mean, there's a little farmhouse that was built in like for who knows forever ago, but it's not really a house you can live in. So I have a fifth wheel out there, and I have contractors out there, and we're also, sometimes when you have all that land, you're like, I don't know where I want my house to be. I'm like, try some stuff out. So I'm building volunteer stays right now so that I can have volunteers coming out and places that they can stay.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of
That's nice.
I'm bouncing around. Yeah. I'm bouncing around trying to feel, because I'm really big on how things feel. So I want to feel what the right spot is. And I keep on, I'm like, I'll figure out what this one is. I'll stay in this one. I'll see how that works. But really I just build structures for horses mostly.
Are you building the sanctuary similar to Best Friends? Have you been to Best Friends in Utah?
No, wait. No. I
Well,
have
Best
not been.
Friends
How are
is
they
more
set up?
for domestic animals. Well, they're set up where they have living spaces for volunteers as well. So
Yep,
I was
that's
just
exactly
wondering
what
if it
I'm
was a
doing.
similar type of, yeah, with a
Yeah,
lot of land.
I have two 80-acre parcels that are kind of butt up against one another. One of them is what the nonprofit sits on and runs out of, and then there's a back 80 that I'm aimed at turning into a for-profit like sister project where people can Airbnb cabins in these woods in Arkansas up against this
Okay.
forest, and then they can come in. So it's almost like an experiential stay. So they can come in,
Yeah.
volunteer with the rescue horses, be surrounded by wild horses, and just have a completely inclusive, cool experience. I have a giant arena that's going to get covered this Christmas. So we're going to start having clinics and really just inject so much cool learning around horses into that community, and even that sort of what southwestern hemisphere of Arkansas that just doesn't exist.
Where did your love? Where did
Oh, it's
your
gonna
love
be
for
so fun. You guys
horses
have to
come
come out.
from?
Well, once I have a place you can live in, like you come out, you stay for a second, you experience.
Okay.
It's
Thank
really
you.
rough in
We
it
would
right
love
now.
to.
I wouldn't come just
Yeah.
yeah. Just give me a
Well, we
minute.
can rough it too. We can
Okay.
glam. Do some glamping.
Okay, all right. Well, then you're invited at any time, whatever.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, so that's kind of the nutshell. The horse rescue part of everything, it just sort of showed up. This was never an intention. I didn't go and move out there with the intention of starting a horse rescue. I had four horses of my own, two of which I acquired when I first moved there. But I sort of happened upon the situation of these horses, period, and realize that when you look around, you have all that space. I mean, at least me, I felt a little guilty. I thought, well, I have a desire, I have a heart, I love animals. Maybe I could help a couple, right? So I fell into this deep dark hole in Facebook that in rural areas of America you use Facebook. So I got into
Right.
Facebook, and I joke and I say that I brought PayPal to Arkansas because nobody used any sites, and I was like, this is the only way I know how to do this. I have to pay you this way. Everything has to work this way. So it was a town left back in time, really. And so when I got out there and I had all that space, and I happened upon the Facebook message or the ad where they were showing these these horses, these beautiful mama horses with these tiny little babies, and at the very top of this whatever this plea was owned by Kill Buyer in big block red letters, and I thought,
Oh,
I don't understand. What is that even? How can a baby, like a baby can't be owned by a kill buyer? Like this must
right.
be a joke, right? So then I got in and
Oh
I
my
just was
gosh.
like this tidal wave of information that even me as an animal lover, me as a horse lover, had no clue about this world. And so I spent the next 72 hours essentially. I saw that there were these horses. I picked out one mama baby pair and I thought, well, it was an actor strike at the time and really on the heels of COVID. So really there hadn't been much
Oh
work
yeah.
because there was just so much
Right.
of that off time. So I really was not in a position to be taking on more responsibility, at least financially that way. But I thought, so I had to be creative. And I think this is what spurred it is what spurred the whole thing. Because I had this want, I had this desire, I wanted to bring in and help and save this mama baby pair. And I thought, well, if I was creative, I could use my social media and I could send out the plea. I could send out the invite even. It wasn't even a plea at the time. It was like, I have a great idea for a perfect exchange. I will shoot content and shoot myself rescuing this mama and this little baby from this kill buyer, whatever the heck that meant. And I'll trade you, audience, people, whoever likes watching me on things, I'll trade you the content of me learning in real time how to work with an unhandled wild mare and this little foal.
Wow.
I had never had a foal, never worked with an unhandled horse, right? So it was going to be definitely a learning experience. It's going to be a fun
Right.
watch, whether
Yeah.
whether you like me or not. But I went on and I posed this idea and I put their pictures up and I put my PayPal up because I wasn't an operating 501. I wasn't a charity. I was just one person that was like, "Hey, if anyone out there wants to see me do this and maybe get a good laugh, like help me pay for their food." Right? And help me pay their
Right.
bail. I didn't really know what I was asking for.
Yeah.
So I put that up and I swear I blinked and it was there. Like the money was there.
Wow.
And I said, well, that's wild. When have I ever done anything where it responded that quickly? And I'm a pretty spiritual person. And I look beyond the surface of things. I look beyond maybe the concept that, oh, I wanted a horse and now I have money and someone gave it to me. Yay, the end. I go, wow, I was offering this option of a way, of a path. And then I put it out there and I always feel like the universe is talking to me rather than put it on specific people or specific groups or so I in that moment got a very clear message that I needed to do that. I needed to do it again. So I picked out another mama baby pair and I put it up and like this. It was there. The money was there.
Wow.
And I
Same
thought,
thing.
you know what I'm saying? Same thing. Keep going. So this is the universe going, keep moving in that direction. That's a door that's opening, opening, opening. So I was like, okay, let me just say yes. So, because I respond to that synchronicity of sorts. And so I just kept posting mama baby pair and they're paid, 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 paid. I went to go rescue 2 horses and ended up with 29.
Wow.
Wow.
Good for
I
you.
Well, yeah, it's great. And it's like a high in the moment. It's like, I just saved 29 horses from the kill buyer. But then reality descends upon your altruistic sort of naivete. And then you realize someone then goes to me, well, how are you going to get those horses from the place to your house? And I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't think of that.
So how'd you get them there?
Well, there was a camera guy, one of the main camera guys on Yellowstone reached out to me. He's like, look, you're going to have to get a trailer that can fit 29 horse. You're probably going to have to rent 2 trailers. And I was like, oh my God, yeah, because my trailer only fits like 4. So I had to go and then on top of that, the clock just starts ticking because once you've paid for those horses and those horses are yours, now suddenly you're paying board at that facility every day for every single animal that you don't pick up. So they maybe give you a 24-hour grace period, but then after that, it's like $30 a day, $15 a day. It depends on the place. So suddenly now we're talking even more money added on. And I'm like, oh man, I got to figure this out. So I had to like find local kids that could drive trucks that could get me trailers. And then the trucks would break down right the night before. So I had to get another truck. I mean, it was like, finally we got it all together. We went to pick up the horses. We brought it back. I had one pasture. And my sister's a vet currently. And my mom was like, both my mom and my sister were like, you have to quarantine those horses. I was like, oh, I don't even know what that means, but like, I'll do it. Don't worry about it. I'll figure it out. So I was like, okay, everyone's giving me such a hard time. Like, I'll just put them in this one little paddock that's it's like a little half-acre spot. But it was actually the smartest thing I did because they were all wild. I mean, literally, I brought 29, well, there were 28 wild horses. The 29th one was the standard bred that I just threw in there because I felt bad. I had a little extra money because I'm not thinking like long term. And I was like, oh, you can get in there too. We'll save you too. So what ended up happening, though, was a beautiful chain of events that is, in truth, it shows you that when you move from your heart and you truly hear the message that's meant for you, it will never steer you wrong because you will have the resources that you need because they will just show up. Your acquaintances or connections will come to they'll come to the rescue. They will come to the rescue. And I had everyone from Hal, who runs Tractor Supply, that I've never met in my life, saw what I did and found me through the producers to get to me so that they could help. I mean, like, that's it's just an incredible thing that they did just as a corporation, as a company. Tractor Supply is forever in my heart for doing that. And they showed up and brought water tubs and they had me make a list. I needed more panels. They got a vendor to bring me a bunch of panels. And it was just it was a miracle. There were multiple miracles that happened
I mean,
because
that's incredible.
it's an incredible story. And I became a
Yeah, no, it's
501c3
incredible.
as fast as I could because I needed to make that taking in that money fully like transparent and real, which is
Yes.
what I wanted. But I didn't even know that's what I want. I didn't even know what I was doing in when I started, right? So I've had it's been about, we're going on the third year. It's been 2 years solid, but I've become, my rescue's become one of the biggest horse rescues in the nation. And it's such a baby. And I'm learning everything at just at lightning speed and the hard things and the good things. And it's 100% changed my life.
Are you taking the horses? You said that they're wild. So are you taking them and rehabilitating them and finding homes for them? Or are they just going to stay at the sanctuary?
No, I have actually everything right now, unless it becomes an ambassador, which the ambassador program on the moon are just horses that we retain, whether temporarily or long term, for different reasons. Some are
Yeah.
slated to become a riding string that people that come at these experiential stays can then ride on a full string of all these rescued horses, majority Mustangs. So that's a dream of mine. And I wanted them all to be babies that we rescued on in that endeavor, right? That you ride the actual babies that we rescued from the beginning. So
Yes.
I have babies from that very first rescue called the Mama Baby Army. And there's a group of those babies that are still with us that will fully train out and then be able to be have rideable. So you've got those guys that will stay. You've got the majority of the horses that we bring in, though, are absolutely rehabbed. They're either rehabilitated, they're gentled, and they are all, if we can, rehomed or adopted out. There's a part of me also that would love a giant piece of land somewhere that we can just move wild horses to and rewild them. I don't necessarily live in the camp that every horse, and even when when we say rehabbed, these are wild horses. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing to rehabilitate. The rehabilitated horses are the domestic horses. Those are the horses that have maybe been through trauma that need reprogramming. I almost would say reprogramming more than, well, some need rehabbing. I mean, there's ones that have been starved and they need nourishment, and I would say that's rehabilitation for sure. But yeah, but I would love to keep the wild horses wild, and I would love to save the ones that need help, and that's my mandate as far as for myself and for what I do and how I run this rescue.
I'm so happy to meet you. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us.